Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the MI podcast. Today, we'll cover the topic of the new rules of brand loyalty. Brand loyalty, what it was earlier and was today, it has changed a lot. Today, brand loyalty is no longer about repeat purchases, it's about a repeat belief. Today, consumers, they don't just buy the products or services of the brands, they want to join stories, they want to join communities and movements. uh, they feel more connected to the brand if the brand is having the same kind of vibe and wavelength that they have in terms of the communication that is there and the image of the brand. So that's why brand loyalty, what it was few years ago and what is today, is it's night and day basically. So today's episode will cover basically what loyalty used to be, why it's not the same anymore, and what are the new rules. So let's understand, that is what was old versus new loyalty. Um, Earlier, I would say the loyalty would be based more on discounts that you would keep for a consumer which has had multiple purchases before, is a brand patron basically. You have your points and rewards. uh, there's a kind of a habit also that a customer has, uh, so they keep going back to you. They don't want to change, they're not so much into change. And then there are also like limited choices for certain things, in certain products or services. So that was the reason for a customer staying loyal, but that's not the case today, because the consumer has infinite choice. He can just look up online whatever he wants and get it and do a lot of research and just get it at the best particular price and whatever value he's getting out of it. There's infinite kind of content also out there, which basically they will be looking through, and content is a huge factor in decision making now. You can compare all kinds of brands out there, all kinds of services, big company, small company, a medium sized company, any kind of company. You can look at, everyone has a chance today. And patience is kind of run out. So earlier, when you looked at a habit, or there was a thing like there was not enough choice, there's so much choice now, and patience is low, and loyalty can change very quickly. So today, loyalty, how do you retain it, is by you earning it, and earning it emotionally, socially, and culturally. So let's look at the rules. What are the rules of brand loyalty? Today's day and age, let's look at the first rule. Loyalty is built on identity, it's not built on products. So when we look at loyalty, it is what it is about. Like, I am an Apple person, a person says, who is, it's not that they buy Apple, they're an Apple person. Uh, they are not the ones who are wearing Nike shoes. They believe what Nike stands for. For example, the tagline is just do it, like it is for doers. So I would say identity is exceeding the features what they identify with the brand image. And customers basically, uh, they are using these brands to, in a way, express themselves, tell about themselves also, because in the social media world, it's all personal brand, like what you are putting out there, your content, and what people see you in, what kind of, say, clothes, and what kind of products or experiences you have or services you take. It is through the particular, you can say the brands that you're consuming. So it's what the brand stands for also. So they are using them to express themselves. And brands today, strongest ones, they are like tribes. So it is a strong community that we are looking at, like a strong community based emotion that is there within that. So we have to, as marketers, build that for our brands. Then we have conversation. Today will be a one-sided communication. Um, you can't just keep bombarding your customers with ads. Um, it's like a one-sided communication. You have to engage with them. So it is replying to their particular DMs, replying to anything that they put in the comments. It can be for or against your brand. Uh, when feedback is shared publicly, how do you kind of respond to that particular feedback? And how, in all the channels, how are you responding wherever you are active? So if your brand doesn't listen, then some other brand will, and you lose that customer and they lose the loyalty. So uh, you have to be very active on all the social media platforms that you want. So many of them today have their WhatsApp services also, that is there. And also founders can be more engaging, via their in-house marketing team or agency or whichever it is. So they have to lead also certain engagement. Today's day and age, it is that is the founder is the representative of your business. We would then have our emotional ROI, which is more important than a financial ROI. What I mean is this is referring to discounts. So discounts, they could attract a particular customer. You could just get a one-off sale, but then for that try to be retained and have a customer loyalty is you have to communicate those emotions, because emotions create believers. Uh, Customers, they'll only return when they feel understood, they feel something special, they feel valued, and they most importantly they feel seen. So when a brand makes them feel something, then loyalty becomes automatic. So even in the day and age of AI, where the marketer comes through is, where you're able to strike a chord with your particular audience, right? There are certain things in your communication or the experience of the product or service that has to strike a chord with the particular TG. And that is where the human is at the core of it, where they can connect, understand humans to the core, and the relatability is there. So that's where build your brand loyalty. Values today will be the differentiator, right? So people check these things, especially the Gen Z, what your brand stands for, how you treat employees, so important, because the employees today also go on some their channels through which they go on social media, and things come out. Like there have been many cases of videos and all this have been leaked where of mistreatment for employees. So the digital world, you have to be very conscious how you treat your particular employees and whatever client, even a client which won't be like a sale, like you cannot have a major differentiation. These are actually business values today. You should uphold those things. It's just in the public eye when they have all this social media, but you should be doing this as a business, right? Fair treatment for all employees and clients. What kind of sustainability things do you do? Very important today, and the Gen Z, really relates with that. So what kind of beliefs, like, do you stand for something? And the today the biggest risk is not taking any risk at all, right? In any kind of a conversation that is there. So values differentiate you, and you have to kind of know if your values with your customers doesn't align the TG, then your loyalty will disappear overnight. So we have to be conscious as marketers as how we design all this. Community is the new moat. What I mean by that is um, the most loyal brands just they don't build customers, they build communities. In need the communities, you have to educate, inform, entertain them, and that community it creates a belonging. um, it creates people who defend your brand. The they are brand advocates created, and that leads to a lot of organic growth. uh, when the customers they defend your brands, when other people are trying to take them down or troll them or harshly complain against them, then when you have these loyal customers who are defending you, that is, I would say, that is a true loyalty. So that needs to be built up, as marketers. uh, Today experience is the new advertising. Where does the customer get the experience? Is the different touch points in marketing. It could be your website, it could be the way a product is delivered to you, the packaging, customer support that is there, or even a refund process. Or if you complain online, how are you answering the particular thing? So one bad experience today travels faster than if you have 10 good ads. So they used to say now that there's some kind of a saying, it costs 5 times to um, get a new customer than a retainer customer. Today it will be 10 times that. So because of social media and how the things get viral and circulated, so we have to be conscious of how we design the experiences as a marketer, and the highest management has to really be conscious of this. uh, Loyalty today is earned daily. There's nothing permanent loyalty or a very long term loyalty. You have to earn it with every social media post, every interaction, customer touch points. Whoever is client facing has to be really trained very well to handle all kinds of customers. Product updates that you have, uh, it shows a kind of a loyalty towards you. Like a brand like Apple, they have been in the news. Like maybe people are not that satisfied with what kind of updates on new iPhones, what kind of features they have. So maybe the loyalty can go down. So if their products, as per technology, also would update themselves more, then it would build more loyalty. So their loyalty also kind somewhere or the other declining, which they have to be conscious about. But there's a whole business decision than more into purely marketing. And every consumer basically conversation that happens has to be looked into. And with AI, it is, at scale you can do this. Earlier, it could be a disadvantage for bigger companies, but now with AI, they can address at a larger scale. Uh, so you brand basically any company, like you don't own any customer. It's basically you daily, what do? You rent the trust. You're renting mind space. But that can go away with a bad experience. So you have to be very conscious of the touch points. Awesome. So these were my particular new rules of brand loyalty. So going forward, brands need to look at loyalty in a way of um, aspects of emotional and social, cultural, and experiential. You have to look at how do you build it with all these elements, um, and all these angles that are there. And brands that will understand this, they'll not only sell more, but they'll matter more to their particular customer. Then when you matter more, then you will not only gain new customers, but you'll increase the lifetime purchase value of each customer in marketing terms. Awesome. We look at a few of our questions from the audience, and let's see if I can answer it as per your expectation. Also, is brand loyalty actually declining today? 100%. So, brand loyalty is something which, with digital, you can lose it very quickly. Because word spreads very fast. So traditional loyalty is definitely declining, but emotional loyalty is definitely increasing. We are switching brands faster, and if we are getting any kind of a negative experience, there are enough options. So uh, it needs to connect. They can be forgiving as well. It's not that kind of, we could say, like, in a way, like, the loyalty is built with when you have more identity, so they can let go some kind of mistake. And then how do you recover from that, right? Do you, because there are so many companies who will give you, if a negative experience happens, they'll give you something, a service for free or something like that, some kind of discount coupon or some value added service. So they have to rescue the situation basically. uh, so the basically shift is not from loyalty to no loyalty. It's from habit loyalty to belief loyalty, basically. Awesome. We'll look at some other questions. Can small brands compete with large brands on loyalty? 100%. They can look at, how do we gain loyalty. So they can often do better in that situation. Because small brands, you build direct relationships most of the time. It's like that. And you can create tighter communities. You can respond more personally. It's like in a shop, basically. You are with the shop owner, you can have a direct relation, and more authentic stories can come in. So you can build more of a connection. So I think they have a better chance, actually. That is what is a uh, more personalization happening with the small brands. That is a benefit that you should take advantage of. Awesome. Will AI weaken or strengthen brand loyalty? It's basically how it is used. So if you look at AI, um, if you remove a human touch in it, then definitely loyalty collapses, which many companies are making that particular mistake. Like, you have chatbots which are not that smart, and they are used. So chatbot should just at a point then refer them to an actual customer service person. um, that is how. So if it improves personalization and responsiveness, then the loyalty will multiply. um, so technology basically has to amplify humanity, right? Like, not replace it. So basically, where we look at that, how do you amplify the whole experience and the human touch, then, and making you smarter, then that is how it's, has to be used. Can a bad experience destroy loyalty if the product is good? 100%. That's what this whole conversation is about. So uh, a negative experience can happen with some customers, maybe customers in a bad mood or something, that can also. But the basically, a business has to strive towards good experiences, right? And how you rescue a bad situation that happens. So because experience has now overtaken the product, customers can forgive product issues, but any kind of they feel a disrespect from a particular brand or how a client facing person is treating them, then that cannot be rescued. Awesome. Then the last question of today is, what is the single biggest mistake brands make today with loyalty? That's a good question. So what would be the mistake that they make? I would say, let's say that let's not take it as a transaction, treat loyalty as a transaction. It should be of a relationship. So people today, they are, thinking very short term mostly, a very reward based thing, instant gratification. That doesn't work. The moment loyalty it becomes kind of a calculation, customers they will emotionally disconnect. It's like a person who, even a salesperson, like when you feel he just wants to maximize his sale, your interest or what you want to achieve with that whole thing, product or service you're purchasing, what you are trying to solve, whichever problem or issue within that, uh, that's not being addressed, then you kind of blank out. So that's what customers will do. So relationships basically cannot be automated completely, right? So that you should not do. Make it very transactional, like loyalty programs and all. Many don't make sense also. So uh, you have to have full bed strategy in it, and a strong human touch should be worked in that particular, so that it's basically positive experiences, human experiences for the customers. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me for this particular podcast episode. Please subscribe to More Intelligence on YouTube for more this podcast. And my podcast is available on all the podcast networks that are there. So please go check us out. And more awesome episodes coming up for you on marketing and media. Thank you so much. Until next time, I'll see you all. Take care.